In this video, I want to show you exactly what I do to get leads on Facebook, but specifically from homeowners so that we can position ourselves to sell their home. Hey guys, if you haven't met me yet, my name's Emmanuel. I'm the founder, kind of chief talking head guy over here at Square One Group, where really our mission is to help you identify your expertise and then help you scale your real estate business using systems. That said, we really make these videos to try to help you bring in some new business. So if and when you do decide to scale, you keep this in mind because we would love to work with you. Now, today I want to jam on with you about lead generation on Facebook, but more specifically, capturing homeowner leads. Now, in order for me to properly frame how this is going to work, I first need to remove you from this ecosystem of real estate. And I want to kind of imagine us together at an airport and we're just watching people just walk by us. Now, every person in this airport, they're either starting their journey or they're ending their journey. But at the end of the day, they all have a unique motivation or reason for going on a trip. Some of these reasons might be maybe they're going on vacation, or maybe they're going back home to see family, or maybe there's a big destination wedding that they need to attend. Now, if you really think about it, this is a lot like a homeowner looking to sell their home. They might be looking to maybe upgrade to a bigger home, or maybe downsize to a smaller one, or maybe they want to move closer to friends and family, or maybe they just want to get out of the neighborhood that they're currently living in because they've just outgrown it. Now, to really understand how to capture the leads of homeowners, it really boils down to knowing one very specific thing: motivation. If we can understand why they're planning to sell and the different factors that influence the decision-making of selling, we'll be more likely to be able to capture that type of business. Okay, and speaking of motivation, and I'm also going to include intent into this, I want to unpack this for a minute because I want you to understand that we need to separate the steps required to effectively create our next transaction from a home seller using Facebook into two really big parts. Now, part one is actually capturing the homeowner's information, and part two is nurturing the homeowner, because look, here's the deal, guys. Most homeowners are not looking to sell now. Like, if we play the numbers game, about 85% of homeowners will eventually sell, but it's not going to be in the next 10, 20, 30, 50, even 90 days. Only 15% of homeowners are looking to sell now, and if we try to target those 15% of homeowners that have massive amount of urgency, it's going to be very difficult for us to acquire them, because long story short, we're going to need a lot of leads to come in to be able to play to that 15%. Plus, it's also going to be a heck of a lot more expensive to try to acquire those types of transactions than it is to play for the 85% of people. So, big thing to understand here is that timing is key. Homeowners can take several months or even several years before they're ready to really list. But the goal here is to capture their information, the first part, so that we can start positioning ourselves as the listing agent to them. So when they do decide to list, they'll decide to list with us. So let's unpack this first part, or this first step real quick, which is capturing the homeowner's contact information. Now, there's a bunch of different ways to do this on Facebook, but by far the easiest is Facebook ads. The key though with using Facebook ads is to make sure that we understand the wants and needs of actual homeowners. And here's what I mean by that. You see, the secret to capturing homeowner leads on Facebook is actually not to post about real estate. Yeah, I know it sounds counterintuitive, but hear me out on this. Think about what a homeowner's current struggles are and then create solutions for those struggles. So let me give you a couple examples. Let's say that storage is a big issue for some homeowners. So maybe create a guide on storage strategies and then throw up an ad for it. Or deferred maintenance is a big deal for some homeowners that are struggling to pay for, some of these renovations. So maybe create a strategy or a plan on how to deal with deferred maintenance and then throw up an ad for it. Or maybe curb appeal is a big factor for some homeowners. So create some assets or a checklist to help homeowners increase their visual appeal of their home and then throw up an ad for it. Now, these are just a couple examples, just to name a few, and these all just kind of came off the top of my head in like the last 60 seconds. But think about what really matters to a homeowner prior to them selling their home. There's something else that's underlining, that's motivating them about some of the decisions they make in their home ownership process. Pinpoint those pain points and then create solutions for them. Now, here's a bit of a pro tip here, but if you're planning to use Facebook ads, you can actually create targeted advertising based off of a couple things like household income and specific location. And these are going to be the most accurate ways to target leads or potential homeowners. One other quick tip to mention here, and that is Facebook ads, like they have a pretty strict policy with regards to real estate. And the last thing you want to be put in is Facebook jail. That said, the strategies I just named a second ago, they're really creative advertisements, but they also are a super easy way to get past this real estate ad policy limitation because we're not actually talking about homes for sale or listings. Oh, and one last thing to note about targeting, this is also a really good pro tip. If you're gonna get a list from maybe like a title company, for example, and that list has emails, you can actually upload that list and create what's called a lookalike audience. And based off of that, that list will start targeting the people with your ads. And this is one of the easiest and fastest ways to get seen by just some random list that you get from some random marketing company. Oh, and quick side note. Also need to mention that if you are interested in marketing on Instagram to target homeowners, you can actually do that using Facebook ads because they're essentially owned by the same company, which is Meta. And if you create a Facebook ad, there's an option to automatically show it to people on Instagram. All right, now another really good way to target homeowners, well, that's actually to be active inside of Facebook groups. So highly recommend you jump into the local Facebook groups of your community and engage with the people that are posting or commenting. I should also mention, don't pitch your services. Don't be an asshole. The idea here is that we want to start conversations with the people that are commenting and build rapport with them. Answer the questions that they're posting, and then through that process, start developing relationships. And then finally, once you've created the relationships, maybe the good old question of what do you do comes up, or maybe they're just going to creep on your profile and they're going to see that you're a real estate agent, and then that's your way into positioning yourself as hopefully becoming their listing agent. Okay, one last place to find homeowner leads on Facebook, and that is actually the Facebook Marketplace. Now, if we look at the Facebook Marketplace, there's actually a place for selling and renting homes. And in some cases, there are homes that are listed for sale by homeowners. So this is actually a good opportunity to spark a conversation. Maybe message these homeowners that are interested in selling their home, but they maybe don't want to use an agent. They want to do it themselves. And then this is really your opportunity to reach out to them and explain to them that maybe listing their home with a licensed agent might get them more value than them listing their property themselves. Okay, now let's move on to the second step, the second phase of this, which is after we've gotten a homeowner's contact information, this is really where the fun begins, because this is where we're going to start nurturing them. And I honestly think that this is one of the biggest misconceptions that real estate agents have with regards to lead generation. And that is that when a lead comes in, most agents, they automatically go in for the kill and get really disappointed when they're not able to get a listing. But the truth of the matter is that's just not how you conduct good business. Like, think of it like going to a bar and just meeting a person and you're immediately going to ask them to marry you. That's just not how this works. That's not how you play the game. These aren't, the rules are you have to, date, and you have to create a relationship before you can pitch, the will you marry me question. And the same thing applies to homeowners. Date them, build rapport, build a relationship, and then through that process, they will inevitably decide to want to list with you. All right, now that you got all of this helpful info, I hope you can weaponize it to your advantage. By the way, if you are interested in getting some additional help or you want to jam on this stuff, got a free Facebook group. We talk all about like real estate lead generation and systems. It's in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, check out this one here.